Hi, I'm Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. We look at how social media is responding to the death of former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi. Twitter may have saved a baby's life in India. How dogs are able to manipulate their humans. And cat filter fail in Pakistan, a story that embarrasses the country's information minister. Meow. And top of our newsfeed, Mohamed Morsi, the first democratically elected president of Egypt, has died. He had a heart attack in an Egyptian courtroom on Monday. Here's how the internet reacted to his death.
The death of Mohamed Morsi in an Egyptian courtroom has prompted a huge response on social media, with tributes and condolences from around the world. People have also been sharing this video of the speech he gave after becoming Egypt's first democratically elected president in 2012.
أعاهدكم جميعا بغض النظر عن المكتوب أو النص وإن كان النص سيكون إن شاء الله معبرا حقيقيا باتفاق الشعب المصري العلماء.
Morsi had been held in solitary confinement for 6 years. He was a diabetic, and even though his health deteriorated, he had been denied medical treatment. Human rights groups are calling for a full investigation into his death.
We believe that President Morsi isolation and ill treatment might actually amount to torture according to the UN Convention Against Torture and according to the basic principles of keeping inmates that the Egyptian government completely ignored and disregarded. I think Sisi's government have shown utter contempt for the basic human needs.
Others say Morsi's death raises questions about how political prisoners are treated in Egypt. Rights groups estimate 60,000 people have been jailed since current President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi took power in 2014.
I think this President Morsi death should actually bring attention to the state of thousands of prisoners in Egypt prisons, some of which are even not convicted and just sent to prisons on this kind of pre-trial detention, unable to see judges, unable to see their families.
Well, to India now, and a story of how two people use social media to do something pretty amazing and change a baby's life. Okay, well, let's have a look at some other stuff that had us clicking today. The Toronto Raptors were celebrating their NBA Finals win when 4 people were injured in a shooting. It took place in the city centre in the middle of the day as an estimated 2 million people were celebrating Canada's first NBA championship title. We'll have more on this story and Beyond the Game coming up.
Get out the car right now. Yes, get out now. Get out the car.
Mobile phone footage showing violent behaviour by US police has gone viral. The video, filmed by a passerby, shows officers pointing their guns and shouting at a couple as they left a store in the city of Phoenix. Dravon Ames and Aisha Harper want the officers involved fired. They've filed a $10 million police brutality lawsuit. The couple had left the store not realising their 4-year-old had taken a doll off the shelf. Phoenix police have responded.
To be honest, ladies, every time I look at that video, it's extremely unsettling. It's not in keeping with what I expect from our employees. And I'll be honest, there's 2,900 other officers out there who work for Phoenix PD who are not taking this well either. So I'm sorry that this incident happened. I apologize to the family. I apologize to the community. But at the end of the day, there's more to the story.
The model Bella Hadid has apologised for posting this picture on her Instagram. It's her foot up on a window at an airport, and the planes in the background are from the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Twitter then started trending the hashtag Bella Hadid is racist. The model says she isn't and that the post was a mistake. And Donald Trump was tweeting some lies the other day. Hardly news, I know, but one of the responses really tickled the Newsfeed team. Trump began by attacking his favourite channel, Fox News, for having the temerity to broadcast polls showing he was lagging in some battleground states. Then the president denied spending 30 hours with ABC News, which had been running a special called 30 Hours with Trump. Trump then attacked ABC in a tweet, only he attacked the wrong ABC and was met with this gif. There it is, of a koala drinking an espresso saying, "G'day." You see, Trump targeted the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, not the American Broadcasting Company. You'd think a president would know the difference, but hey, it's Trump. The interaction was gold, and the ABC was helpful enough to tag the right ABC after thanking the president for the shout-out. 2019 is a hell of a thing. Well, next to Ukraine, a look at some people who are making Chernobyl, the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster, a place of pilgrimage.
There was nothing sane about Chernobyl.
Well, you know, the radiation is always in the back of your head, but I wanted to see this all so badly that it was a risk I was willing to take. I think, yeah, my mom at home is probably not thinking that way, but, you know, for me it was a risk I was willing to take.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened.
It's a beautiful place. You see that the nature returns and takes over and over, and that's what we can see. You can feel that you are very calm here.
It's very surreal being here. It's yeah, it is really isolated, obviously, and just seeing how nature's taken back all the buildings and all the roads, and just seeing how everything's falling to pieces. I mean, Pripyat, from what I've seen so far, it looked like it would have been a really nice town, actually, down on the river by the port there. It looked beautiful, but of course it's uninhabitable now, which is a shame.
Or maybe I would. All right, let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Tuesday. A racist American website called The Daily Stormer must pay a Muslim comedian called Dean Abaidallah $4.1 million in damages for defamation. The site was found to have published fake tweets suggesting Abaidallah is a terrorist and was somehow responsible for the Manchester bombing. The founder of The Daily Stormer is a guy called Andrew Anglin, and he openly calls for race war in the United States. One of The Daily Stormer's readers was recently jailed in 2017 for stabbing a 66-year-old black man in New York. A millionaire called Daniel Beckwith has been sentenced to 9 years in prison for manslaughter. He'd employed people to dig tunnels beneath his home because he was paranoid about a nuclear missile strike coming from North Korea. He lives on the East Coast. Now, one of the workers, Askia Kaffa, died when a fire broke out in the basement, which prosecutors say was full of rubbish because Beckwith was an extreme hoarder. The United Nations has put out its population prospects report for 2019. It shows that the Earth will be home to 9.7 billion people by 2050. It also tells us that India will overtake China as the most populous country, and perhaps most significantly, it tells us that population growth is actually slowing due to decreased fertility. Now, in 1990, women were having, on average, 3.2 babies. Today, that number is 2.5, and by 2050, it will be 2.2. Now, this picture taken in Greenland is causing concern, and it's being held up as a stark example of global warming. It's the Ingelfield-Bredning Fjord, and those dogs, which look like they're walking on water, are actually an ankle-deep melted ice on top of an ice sheet. Now, melting of this kind should happen later in the summer, if at all. Scientists say it's too early to say if this is a direct result of the climate crisis, but temperatures in this part of Greenland have been significantly above average for the past few weeks. And sticking with the environmental theme, a robot submarine has made an important discovery on its first expedition. It's called Boaty McBoatface for reasons best known to British people who voted for the name. It's hilarious. Anyway, the discovery is made about ocean temperatures and the connection between increased winds in the Antarctic and the rising sea temperatures. Scientists leading the mission say the winds are causing turbulence in the deep ocean, forcing cold water on the seabed to mix with warmer water above, raising overall temperatures. It's a new discovery which the researchers say will mean that scientists must redo their ocean temperature models. And a huge bit of LARPing happened in a woodland in the Czech Republic recently. 1,000 dwarves, elves, orcs and humans reenacted a battle from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. Now, LARPing is live-action role-playing, and it's huge for a dedicated group of people who like to dress up as their fictional heroes and do stuff like this. Now, have you ever wondered why your dog makes those cute puppy dog eyes? A new study suggests that they've evolved human-like eyebrow muscles to tug at our heartstrings. Here's the story. And last up, a story out of Pakistan, which has been pretty popular with some people for reasons you are about to discover. Now, a Pakistani cabinet meeting was being live streamed on Facebook, and apparently the person filming it forgot to turn off his cat filter. So, hilariously, As you can see, the information minister had cat ears and whiskers. The government has been forced to apologise and said that the error was down to human mistakes, of course. All right, that'll do from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.